Hello everyone, and welcome back to Automation in BeamNG Drive. My name is Tim, and today I'm going to be building a muscle car today. In particular, a muscle car designed to compete with the Dodge Demon 170. So, not to cheat, we're not going to make this carbon fiber. We might make it steel. But yeah, we're going to give it a monocoque. We're going to make that steel as well, because in reality, the Dodge Demon is actually pretty heavy. Front longitudinal, double wishbone. And for drive type, we're obviously going to do rear wheel drive, because it's the only correct type of drive type for a Dodge Demon competitor. And yeah, the body type, we have a pretty good body type, all things considered. And if you remember from last video, this is actually the same body, believe it or not, but in the coupe variant as the car from last video, which was my turbine thrasher wagon. And with that out of the way, we can finally start working on the actual car itself by finishing up the molding process. We can give it a manual. And yeah, let's give it a manual locker as well. We'll make it maximum quality, give it super high speed capacity. As for the wheels, I'm going to give it whatever the best possible speed material is for, drag races, semi-slick there. And I'm disappointed that I can't get the rear wheels to 395 maximum width, which is really, really sad. So yeah. I'm also just going to skinny up the front wheels some so they don't have too much weight on them, because we're trying to do a tiny bit of weight saving. Not a lot, but also not a little at the same time. And also, yeah, just figuring out how the vehicle should be shaped and all that. That's what I'm figuring out right now. And now that I think about it, yeah, I'm definitely going to make the wheels slightly larger so that they don't have to do as many revolutions to travel as much distance. It's a little confusing, but yeah, just trust the process at the very least. And I want this thing to kind of be able to do burnouts, so yeah, we're going to give it terrible brakes in the rear and incredible brakes in the front. We're going to make those front brakes huge, rear brakes not super big. You know what? We're going to give it we're going to give it a sport under tray. I don't want race because that would probably make too much drag flow, would not create enough downforce. But this right here, it creates just enough. We'll give it a standard interior since that's what the Dodge Demon has, just a normal interior for a Dodge Challenger. And for steering, whichever one's reliable. I really don't care that much, just regular electric, not electric variable. And we're going to give it some simple traction controls. And we're also going to give it basic 2000 safety. We're going to make it super high quality. Heavier, just to make it more realistic to the real thing. Active sport, semi-active, and then we're going to do passive sway bars. And yeah, I'm going to need to tune the suspension quite a lot. And I'm not exactly the best at tuning suspension, but hopefully this goes good. Hopefully it turns out well. We'll give it a little more ride height so it's less likely to bottom out, assuming that it doesn't produce too much downforce. And yeah, that's currently what we're working on right now. And yeah, we're currently having some issues. It's definitely not doing too well with that flashing red dot in the corner. Yeah, we're going to need to definitely change the brakes, make the rear ones slightly higher quality. More importantly, we're going to have to make them actually larger and, usable. That's what we're going to need to do. So, yeah, unfortunately, we can't just have front brakes only according to the warning, but I could have made it that way. But I didn't because the game was whining too much at me. This game and its whiny baby rules, and now we're on to the fixture design. Now, I wanted a design where the headlights were in the grille itself, but then I realized it's a little difficult without, the headlights actually being fused into the grille itself and all that. And yeah, there's clearly some issues with that. So I'm going to do these double round headlights. It might not be the most beautiful look to it, but at least it is, actually functional at the very least. We're going to do some exit exhaust vents. Actually, no, they're not exhaust vents. They're just regular side vents. We're going to get these rear grille looking things and use those as the tail lights. Suicide doors, obviously. Change up the wheels to look like an actual muscle car. We're going to give it some rear vents to help with cooling the actual, with producing downforce, cooling, and stuff like that. Why not? we're gonna make it ice blue because turns out the 9th layer of hell in Dante's Inferno is actually ice, and that's kind of the reason why I chose that color, and also kind of not, I'm not sure. I kind of chose it because it looks cool and all that, and also it's different from Demon Red, which is what many people think of whenever they think of demons. They think of red, bright, fiery red, but technically, blue fire is hotter. And for anyone wondering what engine powers this beast, it's of course a 500 cubic inch pushrod V8, making 1,070 horsepower. And now we start to work on the interior with our beautiful manual transmission shifter, our bucket seats for racing, our 3 pedals, our speedometer, and also a whole lot of cool stuff. And also in reality, if this were real, it would probably be a whole lot higher quality than an actual Dodge, because unlike Dodge, I actually like my cars to have decent quality materials inside of them. I don't like cheap plastic every square inch in the vehicle. Keep in mind this statement comes from someone who drives a Kia. The interior is going to contain a new material, which is purple Alcantara. This purple Alcantara is supposed to be similar to the plum crazy color that Dodge likes to use, and it's also kinda homage to that, but mainly I think it's just a cool color to put inside of this thing because dark purple can be pretty menacing at times. And also, we're gonna put some vents on this vehicle. We're gonna give it a really cool name. I'm gonna call it Devil 500 because this thing is the Dodge Demon, but even more so. And now, let's go to BeamNG Drive! Yeah, I'm sorry if the audio and the visuals are glitching and lagging and all that. I'm really sorry about that. It's just, for some reason, this thing really does not like these visuals for some reason. For some reason, my computer always struggles to actually, record this. The actual gameplay, for me, isn't laggy, but for some reason, the screen recording always is for some reason, and yeah, other than that issue, we're actually doing really good with this whole thing right here. We're actually driving pretty darn well for a rear-wheel drive car with a 1,070 horsepower 500 cubic inch V8, and also this thing right here is ridiculously fast, all things considered. Now, I'm not even flooring it or anything, and it accelerates pretty darn quick. And it handles decently well in grass, surprisingly. And also, we're just going to take this thing to the end of the track, and then after that, we're going to take it straight to the drag strip, because that's what this thing was built for. It was built for the drag strip, and it wasn't really built for the corners. Okay, it kind of was, but mainly the drag strip, and let's go! Okay, and also, I love this thing's interior. And we got 3rd place. Actually, no, we got 4th place. We got 1 minute and 11 seconds, which is really good. This is a surprisingly good vehicle that we've made so far, and it's a phenomenal vehicle, all things considered. And now, let's go to the drag strip. Now, I'm racing in my turbine thrasher for one reason. 1, this car sucks when it's in the hands of the AI, and 2, it hasn't been doing too great, but I can probably fix it sometime later. Now let's start up our engines and stuff and get ready to go, and yeah! Okay, it looks like we're losing, but keep in mind, this thing has a torque curve that looks like this, and yeah, that is how we get 7.6 second quarter miles, which this thing can do better, but it hasn't been handling well recently, as I've said a little earlier and all that. But yeah, hopefully... Ooh, our other car did surprisingly good. I think that's actually better than the Dodge Demon 170 in real life, which is pretty darn good. And now, on to the next opponent. Once again, my computer is lagging like crazy, and it absolutely hates this, and right now, it's no joke, using 100% of my GPU right now. And let's go, and... wow, this is the choppiest drag race I've ever done in my entire life. And yeah, okay, 8.783 seconds, not the best. We could probably do a whole lot better than that, all things considered. But also, this thing is so lightweight, it's not exactly sticking to the ground too well, but also I think that might also be the suspension as well. But yeah, So far, we did pretty good, all things considered. Reaction time wasn't that good. And now let's race against the Mordwagen. Every time I race against one of my own cars, the game runs smoothly. Even though it's still running at 100% GPU usage, it's still running smoothly. And of course, we got beaten out by them. Oh, are you kidding me? To be fair, they have like twice as much power as us, and they also weigh like less than us. And oh my. And also, I haven't even bothered with tuning that vehicle, unlike the Turbine Thrasher. Like, the Turbine Thrasher's changed quite a lot, but that vehicle has pretty much stayed stagnant, and 19 millisecond reaction time, pretty good. And now we're gonna race one of the BeamNG Drive drag cars, and surprisingly, we're not lagging out. We're still using all of our GPU right now. I don't have that little performance tab for you to see, because that is something that my recording software doesn't exactly show. And yeah, let's go, and we're gonna do good. Oh, of course we didn't start up at time, but don't worry, we're still doing pretty darn good, all things considered. 8.695 seconds. Hopefully that's pretty good. To be fair, that wasn't that bad of a quarter mile time when you consider that our reaction time, according to this, was 1.5 seconds, which is absolutely abysmal. And now, onto the next racer. And now, we're gonna race our Turbine Thrasher wagon, the car from last video and my personal dream car. It has about 600 horsepower, but it also has ridiculously good traction, and let's go! Okay, oh, we are so close, and we're beating them. We're beating them right now, and... Okay, that was actually surprisingly close, all things considered. Why didn't we put this new engine into that car, all things considered? Braking distance for the two of them is... pretty big, all things considered. 45 milliseconds, not too bad. And now, we're racing against the Crash Bucket, my cycle car that I made who knows how long ago. And this thing right here is gold, it weighs about nothing, and it also has 900 horsepower. But yeah, right now, we're doing good, we're going faster than them, and we're just better than them, all things considered. Because we're a drag car, and they're not. Oh, stupid little car. You get a 9.7 second, and oh, their brakes are not as good as ours, not even close. Our reaction time was garbage, though. And now it's time to race the Turbine Thrasher wagon's older brother, the 4SB GT, which is basically the Turbine Thrasher wagon before, and let's go! It's basically the same vehicle, but before it existed, and of course we're much faster than them, we have more power anyway, and I just love that interior. I don't think I can stress that, and wait a second. The Turbine Thrasher wagon got like 8.8 seconds, and so did the 4SB GT. They might actually be the same, all things considered. Also 21 milliseconds. And now we're gonna race my purpose-built race car, the T10. Makes about 700 or so horsepower. And also, for some reason, I can never put it into reverse for some reason. It always struggles heavily with that. And yeah, the AI also couldn't do that. But hey, we're doing pretty good right now, and I don't know if we're gonna win or lose. I think this right here might just be the closest that we've ever gotten to a tie before, because seriously, that was like, what, 40 milliseconds off? That is insane. We were so close to being a tie, and also we lost. And now we're gonna race against the Grusho Hato, one of my original cars that I made. It has absolutely no roof, no windshield, and it also has a 600 horsepower V10. But it doesn't accelerate super fast, because it's more about just driving and comfort and stuff like that. And 8.5 seconds, nice! 8.573 to be exact. And also, this is just I just love this car a lot. I think it's a really good looking car. 20 milliseconds is really good. They got a 10-second quarter mile, which isn't the best, but to be fair, their car isn't designed for that. And now, we race Jeff. That time Top Gear tried to build an electric car. And this thing right here is surprisingly slow to get to the line. Seriously, hurry up. And also, that car has like 3,500 horsepower. Let's go! Okay, we're beating them as of now. But, I think it's safe to say we did not beat them. But in all honesty, they are not that much faster than us. Like, yes, they had a significantly faster trap speed, but their time was only like 0.6 seconds faster than us. And it's not that big of a difference compared to what we got. And of course, our reaction time was not very good. That's why we got 8.7 seconds. And now it's time to race the world's fastest Pope Mobile, which is basically that time I took a turbine thrasher and put like one of those like Pope Mobile containers on it so that the Pope can sit in there. And let's go! Okay, I'm gonna take a guess that we are probably gonna lose because keep in mind, they still have significantly more power, but they also got a lot more drag and a lot more weight than the regular turbine thrasher. And also, I think it's tuned slightly to be different, in order to actually hold that on it. And yeah, it's not perfect, but also it's not a terrible drag car. 8.4 seconds is pretty good, and we did pretty good other than that reaction time. And now it's time to race the Uno Musso, which is basically this exact same muscle car if it existed back in the 1940s. And I don't know why they're approaching the line so slowly. Please hurry up. And also, I just love the Uno Musso. It's not super fast, nor is it super extreme, but it's such a fun, enjoyable little car. And 8.718 seconds, that's a pretty good drag time, all things considered. But I'm just happy that we get to race the Uno Musso. I'm happy the Uno Musso exists. And you know what? Considering that they take like 16-something seconds to cross the line, I'm just going to go back some so we can do a little... so we can give them a little revenge for them trying to think they can beat us. Okay, to be fair, we're just being mean to them at this point. After all, this car has the word devil in its name, and the devil isn't exactly a nice guy by any stretch of the imagination. And now, let's just do some free driving before ending the video. I'm out in this middle, like, woodland area right here in this little town, just casually driving my car throughout the town, going way too fast, and I don't think I could stress to you how quick and dangerous this feels. And oh, boo-hoo, I stubbed my toe. That's the type of expression that I would imagine this car would have. Like, that looks just like me whenever I stub my toe, because stubbing your toe is a very painful and excruciating experience. Now let's take our car down the country roads, and if you hear that little sound, yeah, that's the horn on this thing. I can barely hear it because the engine is just that loud, and it's not even like being revved super high. No, it's just being revved to a normal amount, and yeah, let's just continue going back down these back roads at nearly 70 miles per hour, because that's safe, especially in a car that's rear-wheel drive, has not the best traction control and all that, and is surprisingly good at off-roading, all things considered. Like, seriously, this thing is ridiculously good at it, all things considered, and I'm gonna take a guess that it's probably gonna struggle here, which it didn't. What? How did it not struggle there? That is utterly insane. Okay, it's gonna struggle here, I'm gonna guess. No, it did not. It didn't. How? How did it not struggle at those two hills? How? And also, this thing is just a really good car, and I can't drive this in the pre-cam mode, because seriously, this thing is hard to control. Actually, no, every car is hard to control in free cam mode, unless it has like an AI path and all that stuff. And let's go up this path, because we could go up the other ones pretty easily. This one shouldn't be too hard, and oh no, I think this one might actually be a little too much for this car, because the wheels are clearly spinning really, really fast, but yet no traction is being given right now, and It's really, really sad. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to continue driving on normal roads, and once we get unstuck, I'm just gonna stop talking so you guys can enjoy me driving this thing, because I feel like that's something that you guys would probably enjoy. Just casual, quiet, calm driving of a vehicle that is anything but casual, calm, or quiet. And yeah, right now we're just repositioning it, and soon I'm just gonna stop talking, and that moment is now. I think it's safe to say that we did not make it out of that alive. Or did we? Because I have a respawn button, unlike in real life. This is a video game, of course you can easily respawn. And also, I'm back to talking because the video is going to end pretty soon. I'm just looking for a place to drive into the water. A good place, and let's see! Oh! We hit that tree really, really hard, like to such a point where I didn't even know what was the car and what wasn't the car at that point. And also, if you want, I'll make a V10 variant based off of the Dodge Viper. Anyway, that's all. Bye! You know what? I've come to realize that was too anticlimactic of an ending. No, I'm gonna redo it again. Whether you like it or not, I'm redoing it. That was too anticlimactic. I want to at least see myself enter the water, and I want it to look cool. Anyway, bye. We're gonna die. No! Anyway, that's all. Bye.